When I lost my wife, oh, that's what, 8 years ago, I probably had 15 dreams about her, maybe, somewhere in there. She always I dream in color most times, and she always wears a beautiful light blue. It could be a suit, it could be a gown, it could be a dress, but it's always light blue. And a couple of times she's gave me the little beauty pageant wave, and a couple of times she sort of always with a smile. Only one or twice I've ever heard her voice, but she always kind of lets me know that she's fine. I get that feeling after a dream like that. And one I had not too long ago, I've only lived in 2 houses all my life, which is kind of rare these days for a guy 82 years old. I lived on Michigan Avenue in the city. She wanted me to pack up some things for her. So I had this crazy dream. I'm packing goods, and I'm setting them for some reason up high. And everything went fine until I fell out of bed. And I really clunked. I banged up pretty good. The boxes flew and I flew. Another thing that I've dreamt of quite often, not lately, I'm back in the service. I'm at Fort Devens up in Massachusetts, where they were forming this company that we were going to go oversee, a new company. And the guys are all young. They're like, I remember them, and I'm old. And I'm trying to tell them, guys, I've been here, I've done this, I'm not going to do it again. And they're arguing with me. And that's a crazy dream. I don't have any bad dreams. My dreams are, usually maybe I lost the sale, but I mean, even that isn't bad. I've not had any dreams that dwell on my sickness at all. And they're usually, even if I don't remember everything, I wake up with a smile on my face. They're happy. Well, they happened, like I said, as early as maybe 3 or 4 days after she had passed. And then, I don't have a lot of them, but they're always pleasant. She always looks real sweet. Sometimes she looks a little older, sometimes she looks a little younger, just the way I remember her. She always wore a little curl in her forehead here, and it's the way she is. And like I said before, for some reason, she's in this light blue. A couple times there's been a bright light behind her, almost like a glow, that I remember. And she's only talked to me, if I remember, once. And I think only once did I actually take her in my arms. It's always been a distance. It hasn't been real close. Mm-hmm. And she didn't say anything real earth-shaking or anything. It was, I don't even remember the conversation anymore. But she looks great. I don't remember, like when she died, she looked terrible, like people usually do when they're dying. And I don't remember having any of that kind of dream. In fact, the funny thing, well, not funny, but I remember walking out of the funeral parlor, and everybody's getting ready to go home. It was the first visitation. And Brian says, my oldest boy says to me, Dad, what are you waiting for? And I looked at him and said, I'm waiting for Mom. It just whacked me, I of course shook up. But the dreams have been peaceful, wonderful, no squabbles. But we never squabbled once anyway, so. When my wife passed, she was in a hospice room at Scissors Hospital. And the last couple of days, she was talking to her father, who they were very close. Her mother was a heavy drinker, but she was very close to her father and actually practically raised his children, her siblings. And she was talking up to a corner of the room. And looking at her face, I knew she was seeing her father. And he had a pet name for her, and he talked to her, and they talked back and forth. So when you say that, I realize what you're saying. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And how did she feel? Did she seem...
Well, she'd relax, because she was in pain and things, and then when that happened, she'd smile and she'd relax. Mm-hmm. And even when the last couple breaths she took, I knew she was slipping. And the whole family, well, I think 5 of the 7 kids were there, and I leaned down and I kissed her on the cheek, and I whispered in her ear, I says, just let it go, honey, you fought a hard fight. And she had a big smile on her face and just closed her eyes. It was very peaceful. It was